In a world that's constantly changing, you have to move forward to change with it. At Strayer University, we see you striving to work harder and go further. That's why we provide you with the tools you need to get there, like offering a brand new laptop when you enroll in a bachelor's program, so you can do your coursework anytime, anywhere. Because our greatest strength is helping you unlock yours, so you can always keep striving. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. Eligibility rules, restrictions, and exclusions apply. Connect with us for details. The first step to reaching your full potential is having the courage to start. At Strayer University, we help students take action by making higher education more affordable with access to up to 10 no-cost gen ed courses. Because our goal is helping you work toward yours, so you can always keep striving. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. No-cost gen ed provided by Strayer University affiliate Sophia Learning. Eligibility rules apply. Connect with us for details.
Welcome to the Having It All podcast, the show about what it takes to live an abundant, loving life. My name is Matthew Bivens, and I want to help you live with more clarity, confidence, and purpose so you can truly have it all. Let's do it. What's going on, my awesome friend? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm Matthew Bivens, your balanced lifestyle coach, and this podcast is the place to learn how to have it all and live your abundant, loving life. If you are tired of feeling stuck and you're looking for a path towards more clarity, confidence, and purpose, then my friend, you are in the right place. I drop episodes of the podcast each week, and if you are new to the show, then welcome. Thanks for checking it out. I really hope that you get something valuable from today's conversation. And if you are a returning listener, thank you so much for coming back. Thank you for supporting the show by listening. And I have published episodes since 2016, so there are over 400 conversations you can go back and listen to. You can go to my website, matthewbivens.com, click on the podcast link, and from there you can search the entire catalog. And I've covered so many topics that if you're feeling stuck right now and you're going through something, there is bound to be a Having It All episode that addresses what you're going through right now. So once again, you can go to matthewbivens.com and click podcast to search the entire catalog. And lastly, if you could hit subscribe on whatever app you're listening to the show on right now, that would be tremendous. Subscribing helps other people to find the show because those apps that you listen on, they will put my podcast in front of new listeners if they feel that it is popular enough. So hit that subscribe button. And last, if you want to reach out to me, give me some feedback for the podcast, suggest an episode, or just want to say, hey, you can reach out to me directly on my email, which is matthew@matthewbivens.com. Today's episode is all about using your tools and helping you to see that you have tools that you are probably not using. And if you are using them, you may not be using them consistently enough. And when I talk about tools, I'm talking about methods and strategies for dealing with things in your life. Specifically today, we're talking about dealing with stress, worry, anxiety, those things. Those types of feelings and emotions that can have such a tremendous impact on not only your day, but just on how you view life and how you view yourself. And so earlier this week, I received an email from a company I'd never heard of before, and they were pitching me, really sharing with me, this new tool that they had created to help podcasters. And it was a tool that was based off of artificial intelligence, AI, and it was going to help podcasters to, do more with their show, basically. And I am super interested in AI. I was paying attention when ChatGPT first came out. I was able to use the program, and I think that AI, artificial intelligence, is going to have such huge, broad, sweeping changes. It's going to usher in a whole new way of doing things, and there's so many possibilities. So I'm excited about it. And when I received this email about a podcasting tool that uses AI, it had all my attention, right? So I checked it out. I got onto the platform, played around with it, and thought, wow, I can use it here, I can use it there, and, it really got me excited. And then I took a step back, and I asked myself, Matthew, how many more tools do you need? And if you were to sign up for this tool, would you actually use it? And that is what really got me thinking about tools in general and tools that we have at our disposal that we don't use. And it's funny because this kind of conversation also came up in one of my coaching groups where a person was sharing that, they had practiced journaling and they had practiced deep breathing, yet when it came down to stressful situations and, when the ish hit the fan, they didn't use their tools of journaling and deep breathing. And so if you have tools, but you don't use them, then it's the same as not having any tools at all. And I want you to know, I want you to hear this. You have more tools for dealing with stress and anxiety and overwhelm and worry than you think. You have so many more tools, but you're not using them. Or you're only using them in very, very select situations. And I say that particularly if you're a person who deals with a lot of stress, who deals with a lot of worry. You feel like you're constantly anxious. Feeling stress and worry and anxiety means that you aren't present. You aren't in this moment right now. You're thinking about something in the future, or you're ruminating over something in the past, right? Whenever we're feeling these emotions of stress and worry and anxiety, it's a huge indication that you are not present right now. And so what I want you to get out of this episode is that if you've been struggling with stress, worry, anxiety, and you feel like you don't have tools to deal with it, I want you to know that actually you do have tools. You just aren't using them. And perhaps the solution for you isn't to go out and figure out new tools and figure out new strategies. It's simply to use more intentionally the tools that you have already.
You know a spot, but not just a spot, the spot. Actually, with the all-new Nissan Frontier, you know a bunch of them. But the key to these great spots? Being able to reach them in the first place. Your spot is out there. Find your Frontier in the all-new 2023 Nissan Frontier with standard 310 horsepower, advanced tech, and 281 pound-feet of torque.
Here's an example. Do you know how to write? Yes, I asked you that question. Do you know how to write? If you know how to write, then you have a tool that you can use for dealing with stress, anxiety, and worry. The tool is called brain dump journaling. And brain dump journaling is where you write down all the things that are going on in your brain in that moment that are causing you to feel stress, to feel worry, to feel anxiety. And you literally dump them out of your brain onto a piece of paper or onto a Word document, or you dump them onto whatever works for you. But the idea is you simply write them down. And you can write down anything that comes to mind. You write down what you're doing in that moment. You write down how you're feeling in that moment. Write down what you're worried about. Write down all the things you did in that day. Write down anything. This habit of brain dump journaling is simply utilizing the tool of writing in a different way and in a different context and perhaps in a different situation. So that is a tool that you have at your disposal. But if it's not something you've ever thought about, if it's not an idea that you've ever had, then yeah, you probably haven't been using it. Here's another one. Do you know how to breathe? There I go again, asking you a very simple question. Do you know how to breathe? Yes? Okay. Well, then there is a tool that you can use when you're dealing with stress, worry, anxiety. Take 10 deep breaths. Just 10 deep breaths. Right? A deep inhale through your nose and a full exhale through your mouth. And do that 10 times. So if you do that 5 times, it's going to have a tremendous effect on your stress, your worry, and anxiety. When you focus your attention on your breathing. And so breath and breathing and pausing to really pay attention to your breath is such a simple yet powerful tool for helping you to get out of the past or the future and get into the present moment. And here's a variation on that. You may have heard of it before. It's called 5-5-5 breath. 5-5-5 breath is super simple. It's 5-second inhale through the nose, a 5-second hold, and then a 5-second exhale through the mouth. That's a 5-5-5 breath. If you do a couple of those when you're feeling anxiety or stress or worry, it's going to help you to get back into this moment so that you can deal with what is right in front of you, so that your emotions can calm down, you can get more into a grounded, centered space, and then from there, you deal with the stress. You deal with the thing you're worried about. You deal with the thing that's making you anxious. It doesn't make those things go away. It doesn't make those situations or circumstances or people or whatever it is go away. It just puts you back in this moment, puts you back in your center, back in your power, so that you can deal with it in a more effective way. Once again, the habit of taking deep breaths is based off of this tool of breathing that you have already developed. You already have this tool. It's now just turning it into a habit in the situation where you're experiencing stress, anxiety, or worry. Do you ever go outside? Have you ever stepped outside of your home, your apartment, wherever it is that you live, your office, and just been in fresh air? Well, there you go. That's a tool that you can use. Go for a walk, a 5-minute walk, a 10-minute walk, or just get outside and shift up your environment. That is an incredibly simple habit that can help you deal with stress, worry, anxiety. But if you aren't thinking of that tool as a tool, then you're not utilizing it. Here's something that you can do to take it to an even deeper level. It's called the 3-3-3 rule. And you can do this when you're going outside because you're trying to deal with stress, worry, and anxiety. What you'll do is you're going to look at and pay attention to 3 objects. Really focus your attention on 3 objects that you see around you when you're outside. Then, focus and pay attention to 3 distinct sounds that you hear in the environment around you when you're outside. And then finally, move and pay attention to the movement of 3 different body parts. Once again, when you are outside. That's the 3-3-3 rule. And it's a great way to help you get back into this present moment, get back and centered when you're feeling the pull and the scatteredness of stress, worry, and anxiety. So back to really the thesis of this episode is that you have tools, but you aren't using them. You have the tool of writing down your thoughts, the tool of taking deep breaths, the tool of going outside and changing your environment. These are tools that you have, and a reason I call them tools is because you're already doing them. And you've been doing them for a very, very, very long time. You know how to do all of these things. You just haven't formed a habit of using them when you're feeling stress and worry and anxiety. Or if you have and it's not working for you, then see how you can take it to a deeper level. If you've been working on taking a breath when you're feeling stressed, well, then now work on 5-5-5 breaths, right? If you are accustomed to getting up and going outside when you're feeling worry or anxiety, well, then practice the 3-3-3 rule when you do that and see if that doesn't shift up how you feel and get you feeling more present and grounded. Turn these individual tools into powerful habits, into sharpened instruments in your tool belt that you can take out with confidence whenever you're feeling stress, worry, and anxiety. Because life comes with stress. The older we get, the more responsibilities we take on. I say that right now as I can hear my wife in the other room with our 4-month-old putting the baby down to sleep. As soon as our daughter was born, she came with a whole different level of responsibility. And with that brings stressors, right? And my wife and I have the opportunity now to deploy our tools and really look at the habits that we use around utilizing those tools to deal with this new level of responsibility. And here's a pro tip that I want to share with you about turning these tools into habits that you can use confidently. What you want to do is practice these habits when you are calm and when you are relaxed. If you are consistently practicing these things in times when you're calm, then what you're going to do is develop more quote unquote muscle memory with those tools, with those habits. And with that muscle memory, it's going to give you a greater chance of turning to that habit and using it when you are under stress. So don't just practice using your tools when under stress. You can't expect to be able to pull that tool out in a stressful situation if you've never really practiced using it at all. It's not the best way to learn. Your mind and focus when you're feeling stress, worry, anxiety, your mind is on the thing that's stressing you out, worrying you, or creating anxiety. It's not on the details of the tool and the habit that you're working on cultivating. So here's an example. You know I love sports, and I really love the NBA. In the NBA, on every single game, a player gets fouled and they have to shoot free throws. And these players practice shooting free throws. They spend a lot of time in the gym practicing to shoot free throws. And they'll practice in calm situations where it's just them by themselves. There's no people around, no crowd around. It's just them in an empty gym shooting free throws. They'll practice with their trainers and coaches shooting free throws. And then they'll also practice during some game-like scenarios where they are creating or simulating some heightened pressure, and they'll shoot those free throws. And they do that in order to be able to remain calm and peaceful and centered when they're in the game and the stakes are high and the fans are, shouting and trying to distract them, and the game is on the line, and now they have to go back and use what they've learned in practice and hopefully be able to remain calm and centered. So take that same idea to building your confidence around using these tools to deal with stress, worry, and anxiety. Practice brain dump journaling when things aren't crazy and stressful. Practice journaling your thoughts on just a random day when you're feeling calm, and you can just write down what's coming up for you in that moment, what your mind is thinking about, what you did that day. Or practice deep breathing in moments where things are pretty cool. You're watching TV, take some deep breaths. You're in your car and you arrive at your destination, take some deep breaths. Practice when you're already feeling calm. The same goes for getting out of your environment and going outside and paying attention to your surroundings when you're outside. Do that before you are experiencing massive anxiety. You want to do these things in calm situations so that when the stress hits, you have a greater probability of using the tool to get you back in the present moment so that you can face the circumstance and face the situation from a more powerful place. That's what you want to do. So as we wrap up this conversation today, I want you to reflect on the 3 tools that we shared: journaling, breathing, going outside. And ask yourself, am I utilizing these tools in the moments when I'm experiencing stress, worry, and anxiety? If you are not, then how can you start incorporating them more? And also think about other tools that you might have in your tool belt that could be used to deal with stress, worry, and anxiety, but you're just not touching them. Like if you're somebody who meditates, well, you know what? Turn to meditation when you're feeling stress, worry, or anxiety. Or if you're somebody who likes to exercise or likes to go for a run, turn to those tools when you're experiencing stress, worry, anxiety. The point is, you have more tools than you think, because getting into the present moment doesn't always require some elaborate strategy or some fancy app or anything like that. Oftentimes, it's just doing things with mindfulness, doing things intentionally and paying attention to what you're doing. That can help you pull your focus into this moment, which will help calm you down, lower your heart rate, stop your mind from spinning 1,000 miles per hour. And when you can get into that more calm, centered, grounded space, then you can face the stressor or face the source of the worry or face a source of anxiety, and actually come up with solutions that are going to, move things forward rather than staying in the swirl of the emotion that just keeps you stuck. I have a final step for you if you want to take this to the next level. All of the habits that I mentioned are part of the YourDay Balance Game app that I use and have been using for the better part of 10 years to really help me to cultivate healthy, winning habits in my life so I can deal with all the stuff that I've got going on. So brain dump journaling, taking deep breaths, going for walks, these are all habits that are in the app. And a number of them, I have those specific habits and I'll turn to it and I'll practice those habits, throughout my day, throughout my week, so that when the stuff does hit the fan, I have so much more confidence and so much more experience utilizing these habits to help empower me, center me, and really equip me to deal with all the things that I'm facing. And you can use the app too. You can use the app as well. So you can go search it in either the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Type in YourDay Balance Game app. I'm also going to put links into the show notes. And you can sign up for the app for free. You get 1 month for free. Then it's just $10 a month. That's it. And you have access to what I feel is the absolute best app to help you build trust within yourself. Because when you have a high level of trust in yourself and trust in your healthy lifestyle habits, then you can lean on them in times when you're feeling the stress. You can lean on them in times when you're feeling like you have no margin or very low bandwidth, right? You lean on the confidence that you have in being able to deposit into your trust account. So go check out the app. If you are on it, you can watch me and you can see all the different things that I do, because every single time that I log one of my habits, you're going to see it. And you're going to see exactly what I do on a day-to-day basis that keeps me being able to take on new responsibilities and face them in a very balanced way and experience peace and joy in the midst of having a lot of things on my plate. So come join me. Again, it's the YourDay Balance Game app. It is also known as the Trust Account app, and there are links in the show notes of this episode. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Whether this is your first episode or your 450th, I truly, truly, truly appreciate it, and I appreciate you. Sending you so much love. My name is Matthew Bivens, and here is to you having it all. Quick note about the Having It All podcast. I am not a doctor nor a licensed therapist. I'm a guy with a story and a passion for conscious conversation. My thoughts, opinions, and beliefs are my own. So please consult with your doctor or healthcare provider regarding any questions or issues you have related to your personal physical or mental health.
In a world that's constantly changing, you have to move forward to change with it. At Strayer University, we see you striving to work harder and go further. That's why we provide you with the tools you need to get there, like offering a brand new laptop when you enroll in a bachelor's program, so you can do your coursework anytime, anywhere. Because our greatest strength is helping you unlock yours, so you can always keep striving. Visit strayer.edu to learn more. Eligibility rules, restrictions, and exclusions apply. Connect with us for details.